It was unbelievable. That walkout was spectacular, and obviously because Conor was fighting, there was even more stars there. I'll never forget getting in the cage and me boxing coach Chris going, like, get on Mike Tyson there. Mike Tyson, Vince Vaughn, Mel Gibson, Theo Von all singing and dancing to me song. It was like, there's no way I can lose here.
I saw a video, I don't know, I think it was Paramount maybe posted it on their Instagram, and it's him backstage hearing the Paddy chants, and then the bump, like his crazy music comes on, and then he's getting into it, and he's doing this, and the coaches, I literally got goosebumps watching it because I know what's about to happen.
I don't think you're exaggerating at all. I saw star power from the moment he walked out. He had the celebrities in the house. Yeah. I'm over there watching Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn do the dance. They were doing the dance.
You've got John Jones doing the Paddy dance. You've got every fighter, every celebrity there loving the Paddy dance. Mike Tyson dancing away. Everybody was dialed in. It was the pinnacle of the night. For me, it was the main event. For me, it felt like the main event. It felt like, wow, Paddy has just absolutely rocked this place.
Paddy, to get that reaction you and I just talked about off a loss, don't forget that. He's a much bigger deal today than he was yesterday. And we're saying that yesterday he got the louder pop. When McGregor's there, big deal. Big compliment to Paddy.
To walk out to that kind of hype, that kind of intro, huge crowd like that, and to not give a shit, and just because you can see, like, that's what I was saying before about McGregor. He was trying to pretend, like, you know, and I don't blame him, but he was trying to pretend that he still had that aura and like trying to do the same old stuff, but it wasn't convincing. Paddy walked out, he's got a smile on his face, absolutely loving the moment, the pressure, all the eyeballs on him, just like living in it.
They both landed some good shots on the feet for a little bit. Benoit shot in. He you know what he did so nicely? His back was up against the fence. He had a guillotine, a tight guillotine. He circled. He didn't flop for the guillotine on his back. He sprawled, circled, went for the guillotine. Benoit did the right technique to roll out of that.
I knew he was good at defending a guillotine, so we'd worked on other things around the guillotine, and that was just there, picture perfect. And it wasn't a proper Peruvian necktie, but I literally drilled a Peruvian necktie for the first time in about 10 years, about 5 weeks ago with my coach.
I like BSC a lot, and I've been cheering for him a lot on the show and stuff. But I feel like he shit the bed this one so bad. Why would you shoot when you're dry on a guy that's his best thing is submissions, being off his back when you're fresh? And BC has good stand-up. I just don't get it why he shot in such a shitty shot too. It seemed like a little desperate.
It was a bad shot.
I think either he was so confident in his grappling, he's like, I'm gonna smash this guy, or the moment got to him and he took like a nervous shot because the shot looked like crap.
Yeah, I just didn't expect him to just shoot in right away. He just, it was almost like he wanted to prove a point, like, I can grapple with this dude. And I once did that. And I carried my arm out the octagon with me because of it. You know, so it's one of those things that happens, bro. He went into his wheelhouse and he got caught.
That's one of his strengths, though, is he'll put himself in harm's way, put himself in bad positions, being hard-nosed, like, he's just reckless, man. And it works for him a lot. He can overwhelm a lot of guys just with the pressure. But when you have a guy like Paddy Pimblett who has the submissions, and, you know, it's just dangerous, especially like George said, when you dry to start a fight like that, to put your head out like that. He did it against Hooker. He did it against me. He does it a lot. And some guys he breaks with it, but at the higher level, you know, you're going to find yourself in these kind of positions. You're going to get snapped down. You're going to get put in chokes.
And if you break this fight down, I felt like Saint Denis' chance to win this fight was to keep it on his feet and strike, and then he shoots right in for a takedown. Very, very crazy.
He just dove in there, and he kind of did it against Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's got crazy guillotines too, and he really, if you go and watch that, he really doesn't give a fuck about what you have, and it was some work for him in the past. Yeah. And I think that's what got him in trouble. Paddy, I think, is a different level.
And that would have been nice if he caught a Frenchman with a guillotine. Classic move there, mate. But either way, moves it to a dash choke. He's not really got the angle to finish it. They're like directly north-south with each other, so he's not got Benoit cramped up into this dash choke. So he makes Benoit cramped up into the dash choke.
But Paddy is so flexible. He ended up in a position with that, holding onto that darce, bringing his leg up over. It almost looks like it, you know, it's now the new, you know, I heard he's calling it the pad thai. I love
That's awesome.
It is, because I was gonna call it the Scouser squeeze or something like that, right? But I mean, the position he ended up in, he's bringing his leg up, almost looks like a Peruvian. And so you're looking, you're going, but it increased the choke, having his leg where he put it on top.
Yeah.
It increased the pressure on it, which put the more pressure on Saint Denis' neck, and to the point where he goes out. And you look and you go, man, that's freaking incredible.
It was almost like a guillotine, like you lock a rear naked choke. So he had the arm around the neck, one over the arm, but instead of grabbing like a guillotine and cutting it off, he grabbed his own bicep. It's almost like a Darce choke, but he pulled guard with it. It's one of the tightest chokes you can get caught in.
And nasty finish, dude. If you look at the face of Paddy Pimblett. Listen, it's happy fucking fun time. Dun, 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 dun. This guy's a fucking savage in the cage. And I've been saying it for years.
And the thing is as well with that, like that's like I've got quite long arms. I don't even think I would be able to do that against somebody in my weight class. You have to have the right kind of physiology, the right kind of wingspan and arm length to be able to do it, you know? Like I don't think Benoit Saint Denis would be able to lock that up against Paddy Pimblett.
He was able to wrap his legs around the back of Benoit Saint Denis. And once he had that, John, it was absolutely over. I don't care if you're Hodger Gracie and you're in that choke with that tightness and that level of connection, you're going to go to sleep or you're going to tap. Benoit Saint Denis, as you said, is not the tapping kind. And it was over very, very quickly.
You don't really see many submissions under a minute. People have to work for the position and get something. I literally choked his ass out in 52 seconds or whatever it was. He was just like a dead body on the floor. If I wanted to kill him, I could have. You know what I mean? I had to say to Goddard myself, he's out. If you watch the replay, I say to Goddard, he's out. Because as soon as he rolled and then he went limp, I was just like, he's unconscious.
On the big screen, you could see exactly what was going down. The place went crazy. You know, they lift up BSD's arm and it falls down, and dude, you should have heard it. It was like, it's one of the more eruptive moments I can recall in a fight like that, because that crowd was just glued to it, man.
You know, sometimes it can be kind of scary when that person goes down and you never want to stop the fight because you don't know if he's unconscious or if he's still awake. You want to stop him when he's unconscious, but when BSD head was down and the ref's like looking, and Paddy's like, he's out, mate. Just go ahead and let him go now. Just come on, that's it. Check, and he checks him, and his arms goes limp. And I'm like, Destiny was like, oh my god, like thank God the ref was there, because you couldn't see his face, you couldn't see eyes roll the back of his head, and that choke was sick.
That wasn't submission of the year. That was submission of the decade.
That was sick.
You know what I mean? That was ridiculous. It was like a Darce, Peruvian necktie,
guillotine.
You know, it's like
all at once.
Oh, I've never done that before. I've never done that before. I just done that on the fly. That's how I roll. My jiu-jitsu's the best in the world.
I asked a bunch of black belts what they would call this choke. First of all, I want to say something. I contacted, I would say, how many did I speak to? I contacted more, but I spoke to 3 high-level black belts, world-level black belts, okay? And what they all told me was that this choke was awesome. Like, every single one of them had huge enthusiasm for it and really respected Paddy for just how fucking ice cold the whole thing was.
That's what
they're calling it. They're calling it different names. It is technically a Darce choke, but it's got a weird setup because he throws his legs over the top. This prevents BSD from really being, it just immobilizes him essentially. So some people are calling it the padlock. I saw Craig Jones call it, what did he call it? Oh, the Scouser lock. In any case, Chuck,
I like that.
It is fucking ice cold, brilliant.
Look, I thought BSD looked huge, but then when they got into that first exchange where they started,
Paddy is tremendous, dude.
Paddy grabbed him by his neck and just threw him down. It was like, come here, son. And then when BSD tried to like roll through and get to the top position, Paddy's like, nah.
let me just put my mullet on top of you and just like lay you back down to your back. And
Yeah,
I was
he's
like, holy
tremendous.
cow, Paddy's huge.
Never seen a finish like that before. Had his leg literally almost over his head, finishing the choke. Never seen, but the confidence that he had going out there. Even you felt it back here. I wanted to fight. Just listening to him talk, he knew he was going to win that fight. That's what makes champions. It's mindset, brother.
Remember when AJ McKee did the McKeatine?
Yeah.
To call what you look and you go, hey, sometimes guys pull off things that you go, man, what in the hell? How did he make that work that way? But they can, and it just shows how well versed Paddy is on the ground. We talked about it. His ground game is good. It's solid.
He was outstanding from beginning to end. Everybody thinks I'm a hater. I have nothing to say bad about Paddy Pimblett. I just tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? I tell the truth. If
You tell
somebody
your truth.
I tell my no. If somebody does something good, I honor that. If somebody does something bad, I honor that. I just tell it how it is. Paddy Pimblett was great from beginning to end. All week long, his walkout was amazing. His fight was amazing. He handled the mic afterward amazingly. Everything that Paddy Pimblett did was great.
For a guy that gets treated as an afterthought, as like you're only here by invite because we felt pity on you or something.
Yes.
To then go in there and then take on a fucking French Special Forces guy and fucking put his ass to sleep in 52 seconds with perfect, frankly, kind of very advanced technique on top of it, dude, that is big time. And you especially coming off getting his ass whooped against Justin Gaethje. Really, I salute the fuck out of that for Paddy.
If the numbers were ridiculously high and they all tuned in
Look at him
for Conor McGregor,
Yeah,
they saw the co-main event. So if they weren't a Paddy fan beforehand,
they are now.
Definitely are now.
Yeah.
Now I did an interview with him on my YouTube channel, and he owned Fight Week.
All week. He said Benoit will shoot and I will choke him out. He absolutely nailed the finish. You're right. This was Paddy Pimblett's week. Paddy Pimblett picked the torch up. Conor's career's done. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for changing the sport forever. Now let's all get behind Paddy on a global scale. Let's see how far this kid can go.
If there's any doubt that he's one of the biggest superstars in the promotion right now, like erase that doubt. That just his whole personality, his whole vibe, and that performance, especially on a night where there wasn't anything on top of it to take away from it. You know what I mean? Like that was a star-making performance, and this dude has arrived. Now, he said, "Look, I'm a bigger star than Conor McGregor is now." He's like, "Well, in 2026, I will say yes, he is." Now, if we go back to the height of Conor, nobody's ever been that big.
So I think that he was the big winner of the night. He stole the show. And I guess if you're looking for like an aura baton, right? Like Paddy did a pretty good job. Like if you're trying to find the next guy that they can get behind and promote, like he did a very good job and he seized that moment.
I stole the show. That main event was lackluster. Everyone can say that. I was basically the main event. Motherfucker got slept.